Hello, 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 everyone. Let me know if you can hear and see me when you come in. Let's see. I just wanted to do a really quick live here. Let me see. All right, my camera seems to be working. Let me test it out on my phone to see if you can hear me. Give me 1 second before I start rambling on and no one can hear anything. Okay, so we're good. All right. So just want to do a quick live. It's actually almost time for me to clock in to my work computer and just wanted to kind of chit chat a little bit. I plan on doing a longer video. As you guys know, I don't like doing lives. I don't like doing things like that. Um, but I try to support everybody else who has pretty good channels who do lives and everything. And I realized last night, well, I actually already realized it, but I am too sensitive for panels. I'm really too sensitive for panels. Um, I think one of the biggest issues with panels is you have so many different people from so many different walks of life, and no one tries to put themselves in the other person's shoes. Like everyone thinks that the way that they feel is the end all be all. Well, not everyone, because you have people like Kai, um, people like that who actually do try to be empathetic to other people's. But one thing I noticed when it's a bigger panel is usually that was so ghetto. It's usually people don't try to see the other person's point of view. Just sitting back watching, AM's panels and UT's panels and CT's panels when I used to follow him. Um, the main thing seems to be you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. But I think when it comes to panels, what everyone forgets is everyone more than one thing can be right at one time. And I think that when you discount a person's experiences, then that's when it becomes an issue. And I can't, let me give you an example. Um, I had said something the other night when I was on live, and it was something about, colorism, um, dark skinned people being treated differently, made fun of their color and their complexion and things of that sort. And then last night there was my friend and his wife, they did, and my brother LA, they did a panel um talking about it. And I was listening, and the motive behind the panel was a good motive. It did go left eventually, but it was a good motive, and it was to try to prove that people don't care about complexion. But I mean, honestly, people do. My experience, people do. And it does cause certain insecurities. And I think, and the point that I was trying to make last night, and y'all excuse me if I'm talking in circles because I am a writer. I'm not a speaker, I'm a writer. I'm trying to get better about the way that I articulate. Um, I think that people on each side catch it. You have the darker skinned people who are made fun of for being darker skinned. Then you have the lighter complected people who gain hate and being made of for being lighter complected. Then you have light skinned men who are called soft, and then dark skinned men who are called thugs and hard and all these different kind of things. When I think people just always forget that we are all people. We're all humans. Like none of this stuff really should matter, but it does. It does. You would think in 2023 that we would not be still having conversations on colorism in 2003, but it's still a thing. 2023, it's still a thing. So the person that I am, I live in this bubble, and I know it's not realistic, and I know in a sense it may be labeled as childish in a sense too. Um, that everyone just respects each other and sees each other as just human beings, even if not even human beings, but just as Americans. You know, it shouldn't matter what our complexion is. It shouldn't matter what our race is. It just should not matter at all. But unfortunately, it does. Unfortunately, it does matter. Unfortunately, um, it's still a thing. Pretty privilege is still a thing. Colorism is still a thing. Racism is still a thing. And because I have an issue with taking on the feelings of others and feeling things really, really deeply, I realized that I was too sensitive to for panels last night. I did. And one of the things that we trying to think of how I want to say it. Give me 1 second. One of the things that we fail to realize is, I think as humans, is that there are so many different experiences that we go through in our past. And whenever, like with me, whenever I say something, I get tested on it. I notice I'm not the only one. Whenever I test something, so I was on a stream the other night and we were having church and everything. It started out just saying, "Let the things of the past go. Let the things of the past go." And I got tried in that last night. Um, I really thank God for showing me that I still got some prayer and some things that I need to get over. God has healed me a lot from the things of my past, but it's still certain things. Um, hey, Grammy, how you doing? Um, you can come up if you want, Grammy. I'm gonna be on for maybe another 15 minutes or so. Um, yeah, I'll probably be on another 15 minutes or so. Because I do have to clock on to my work computer in about an hour. So yeah, but I was just the other night on the stream saying, let the things of the go of the past. Don't worry about what things said online. Blah blah blah. And I be dog. The very next night, I got tested in it. And when I tell you, you cannot be a sensitive person and be on panels. You can't. You cannot be a person. I hate when people say empath. I don't like that word, but you can't be a person that takes on the feelings of others really deeply like that. Grammy, are you there? Grammy.
Give me a minute. I'm here. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out which screen I was on. Okay, I just saw you on and was saw your title and I said, let me get over there because I've been wanting to hear about this. And I was just hearing just a couple of sentences. So go back and fill me in because I've really been bothered and I'm not thinking that you're as sensitive as you think you are. But let's talk about it. What's going through your head right now because of it?
Nothing really. It's just it was an eye opener for me that you really have to have a thick skin. Like, I wish I can talk trash like Miss Sandra Love. I can't hang in there with them like that. I can't.
Yeah,
I can't hang in there like that. And I appreciate it. It wasn't anything that anyone said. It's just me yelling. It makes my anxiety go like, it makes it go all the
right,
way up.
right.
And so, even if someone isn't yelling at me, just me being in the presence of someone yelling, it just, I, and what I was saying was, just the other night, I was talking about let things go. Don't worry about the stuff that happened on the internet. Don't take it too seriously. Blah 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 blah. And then last night, I freaked out. You know, it wasn't really a freak out, but I do appreciate Kai reaching out, make sure I was okay. LA, we were able to talk behind the scenes and everything. And I let him know, LA's cool. Like that's literally my I look at him like that's like my online, I don't know if he's older than me or I'm older than him, like my online brother. But I realize I am too sensitive for panels because I can't hang. I can't hang with them. And because I'm one who really has issues with articulating, that when I'm trying to make a point, a lot of times I don't even get to that point because, it's kind of like land the plane. It's like I have to go all the way to Atlanta to get you to Savannah instead of just saying go down 16 to get to Savannah. I gotta take you all the way through Atlanta and then tell you to get on 16. So that's pretty much it. But it was I just realized that I'm more of a in the chat type person, and I'm just not strong enough for panels. I'm too sensitive.
I don't think
I,
that's true. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. And I'm going to tell you why. You have no idea the influence that you have on men, and in a good, good way. They love to pick on you the same way they love to pick on Miss Sandra. Those men enjoy that, okay? But also, there is some things that I could see that if the men understood, because I don't think that they weren't trying to hurt us. They're
oh no,
not trying to do anything bad. I think they were actually trying to be on our side. But the
yes,
problem is this: it the way that things were being, in other words, there's a reason why locker room talk is kept for the locker room. It's never been appropriate to take locker room talk and discuss that among godly women. I am so sorry that you don't understand that good women do not enjoy this conversation. It is not to be had in front of certain groups of women. And I think that what these men need to understand is that you want to sit here and down the whorish woman, which she should be. You want to lambaste her, but what you're not doing is you are not making a clear division between the righteous and the unrighteous. It's always about something, uh, how do you say that word? Supervious or super, like, what's that? I don't know how to say it, but I can spell it. Anyway, supervious, I think is how you say it. But anyway, it's always something superficial. And it's not anything of substance. They're not talking about women as substance, but I also had to sit back and look and I said, there's not one man on this panel right now that raises females. These men do not raise women. You know what I mean? Like Black Suit Defy, if he would have been up there, or Black Thoughts, if he would have been up there, these are men that raise girls. And maybe that's a difference. I don't know. I was trying to get all into their head, trying to solve it and figure out, exactly where are we going wrong. But They're not hearing Miss Sandra or you or me or any of the other women that have come before. They get defensive. They say these are talking points. They're not hearing that, no, this is significant. This is something that can hurt a woman. This is something that makes us want to withdraw from your presence. This is words of rejection. And that is the main thing, is fighting the spirit of rejection. Okay? That spirit is a boogaboo right there. It will send you walking away crying, because rejection will always leave too soon. Okay? It always wants to flee. And I have had to wrestle in my spirit with rejection. But
Mhm.
it's learning the language of rejection and then learning how to back that up. In other words, there's a lot of thought that hasn't gone into these behaviors from
Mhm.
these men. They feel like, well, we're up here and we're just being men and we're just talking like men, but they haven't read the room. And I've heard them
Well,
tell one another, read the room, you know?
one thing I
So
can say
can they take
is
some correction? Can they adjust? Can they? Absolutely. They most certainly can. And it is
mhm.
not too much to ask of our men, because we are responsible to uphold a standard. It is not too much to ask of them that they be respectful, that we are not whorish women and we don't want to be treated like the other women that have not earned their place of respect. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am. It does. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Grammy? Grammy, can you hear me?
My internet's breaking up.
Well, in response to what you said, Grammy, if you can hear me,
Are you there, Bird Lady? I think your internet froze.
okay, hold
Hey,
on.
David.
All right. Let me see. Okay, so it's working on my end. But what I wanted to say in response to what Grammy said is the intent of the conversation last night, it was good. It was to I know exactly where the intent comes from. Where it came from is UT saw that I dealt with this issue. And he wanted to say, "Hey, let me make my sister feel better by showing her that we don't look at stuff like that. We don't pay attention to, complexion and different things like that. I'm going to prove it to you." And they were proving it because I they had ranked the darker complected woman higher than they ranked the lighter complected woman, which there is this general consensus that darker complected women are worse than lighter complected women. So he was trying to help by proving it, that even though you're darker skinned doesn't mean that you're any less. So that's where UT was coming from. He was trying to just prove that point that, yeah, you're dark and complected, but to men, we really don't care. But in
Right.
all actuality, if you haven't experienced it, then it's kind of hard to understand it. If you haven't
Yeah.
grown up your entire life where, having a fair skinned mom and, having a dark skinned dad, and you taking more after your dad, once my dad left, they didn't see my dad. So people just saw me being this darker complected person with this really fair skinned woman.
True.
And, they're kind of like, where'd she come from? You know what I'm saying? Even when, just being younger and looking at pictures of me and my mom holding me, it's like, man, I see why people didn't think I was her child, because there was such a big difference in our complexion. And so I think I know that the conversation was to help uplift dark and complected women. Not even just dark and complected women, but me. He did that to help me. And I appreciate him for that. But I also think that if you haven't
Yeah.
experienced it, it's like, nah, people don't really do that. But in general, people really do. Because I checked out last night. But I heard this guy. I rewatched some of it this morning, and this guy was on there saying something about when he sees a darker complected waitress, he knows he's not going to get service or something like that. I don't know if you were there then, Grammy and David. Can you hear me, Grammy? Grammy, if you can hear me, I can't hear you.
Yeah, I was there.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I heard
So
that part about the darker complexion. I don't understand all of that. Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I I think we have a huge delay, Grammy.
All right, well, I'm not muted, so I can hear you. I think we have a lag.
Yeah, we have a lag, but I'm gonna drop you down, Grammy, and try to come back up again because it's showing fine on my end on the phone. Yeah, yeah, because I'm looking at the stream on Ginger's channel, and it's um yeah, we have a lag. But man, I appreciate him for trying to do it, but that's a conversation that's always going to be a hard conversation to have. And if you haven't experienced it, it's just you're not going to understand it. And I know a lot of people say, it's our insecurities, but the question that I wanted to get to last night is, we look at people and we say, yeah, this person is insecure about their complexion. Like the young lady that bleached her skin. This person is insecure about their complexion, but if you- do people what I do is I take a moment and I say, okay, what is causing this person to be insecure about their complexion, about their hair, about their, whatever it is, what's causing them to be insecure about it? Because insecurities just don't come out of the blue. Insecurities usually come from experiences that you've had in the past, and it causes you to be insecure about it. Like, to them, the young lady that bleached her skin was insecure, didn't make any sense, blah, 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 blah. But to me, it made perfect sense to me, because if you watch my other Being Ugly, Hating My Dark Skin and 4C Hair video, I talk about when I was younger, I bleached my skin. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find a picture of me when I bleached my skin. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to go to my Google Photos and see if I can find it for you guys. So to the panel, it didn't make sense for this woman to, you know, feel so insecure about herself to bleach her skin. But what were her experiences in the past that caused her to say, you know, I need to bleach my skin? My experiences in the past is I was always called charcoal and ugly. And the main thing that people talked about was my complexion. and my nose. Grammy, with bleaching skin, it's not a lot. With bleaching skin, when I bleached my skin, all I did was I used the cream. Whenever I went, and I know it's wrong. It's a cream called Fair. Well, I started using this cream called Ambi, and it's to help fade like dark spots on your skin, like how I have like the dark blemishes and stuff. It actually it actually causes the dark spots to fade, but instead of me just putting on the dark spots, I put it all over my skin. I'm telling y'all too much now. But there's another, but Ambi, it helps fade, but it really doesn't bleach. It just slightly fades out your complexion. Now there's another skin bleach that I use. It was called Fair and White. The Fair and White skin bleach that I used, it had me light skin. I'm sorry, my Google Photos are pulling up now. So this is way back in like 2002, 3. So it's way back there. So I'm just trying to find it now when I bleach my skin. So I can show y'all that picture. But to them, it's like she was insecure. She hated herself, blah 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 blah. But what happened in her life that caused her to feel like she had to do that? There's a study, and I want you guys to look it up. There's a study. It was about colorism, and the young lady she was on a dating site. I'll find the link and I'll put it in this video. Um, 'Cause like I said, I can't stay on too long because I gotta let Ginger go out for a little while again. And okay, so here's one. This is when my skin actually started. This is like when I stopped bleaching, so my skin started to get dark again. But let me just show you guys. So let me know if you can see this. So if you notice here, this is when my skin started to get back darker, but I had bleached my skin where I was lighter than this. And let's see what Grammy said here. When you hear enough that the same feature yours is not attractive, then women will do whatever it takes to eliminate that problem. That's true. But this lady did a study, and she was on a dating site, and she I always found beauty within. The more I got to know Grammy and Bird, the more beautiful they became to me. Um, yeah, thank you, David. But yeah, that was me bleaching my skin, and as you can tell, it didn't look natural. I looked sick. I looked sick. I looked like, and that's one thing I noticed about the young lady that was talking about that last night, her bleaching her skin, which she has a skin whitening cream that she actually sells and she makes money from it. So good to take your pain and turn it into money. But one thing about her is, when you get sick, you look pale. Before she even said the whole thing about bleaching her skin, before Uncle Tom actually revealed that she bleached her skin, I already knew she bleached her skin because she didn't look light skinned. She looked pale. That's what I'm saying, Grammy. Thank you. That's it right there. When you bleach your skin, you look sick. You look like when a person is going through an illness, how their pigmentation on their skin actually fails. But I thank God that I am to the point that I am now, that, like I say all the time, I can get on here, no makeup on. I'm sorry, my glasses are dark. These are transitions, and I'm sitting in front of a window with the sun. So sorry that they're looking a little dark. But yeah, it's like when you bleach your skin, you don't look naturally light skinned. You look like a pale, sickly person. And I thank God that I'm to the point that I am now, that I can get on here, no weave, no makeup, crazy looking glasses, no nothing, and I feel fine. And like, my husband and I, we always joke around or whatever. And I wanted to kind of dig more into it last night, where, talked about, being previously being attracted to lighter complected people. And it made, and at first I began to take it like, hold on, wait a minute. What he trying to say? Did he settle? Is that what he's saying? But he was just saying, the beauty of the Holy Ghost, the beauty of a good woman, and he talked about how, even trying to instill that in his kids, like, don't get so stuck on, you know, a person's skin tone or a person's race, because yeah, they may look exactly, but you limit yourself. And that's what he was trying to, that's where the conversation was going. So I really think last night people were probably like, man, her husband settled for her, but no, it wasn't that. I couldn't get back into the conversation. And it's no one's fault on the panel. It's just me. I can't articulate. As you see, I keep bouncing around, because I do have issues with speaking. So I apologize. But yeah, I applaud and I love Uncle Tom and Ty and Kai for in LA for opening up that discussion and trying to say that it's not an issue. It's not an issue for them, but for, yeah, that, thank you, Grammy. Yeah, that's what he was trying to say, is that, basically, if he would have still, I'm paraphrasing a little, if he would have still been on that, you got to be light bright, doggone near white, then he would have missed out on me, if he would have still been that way. Is basically where it was going. But I applaud them for trying to show me, like, hey, that doesn't matter. But from experience, in my opinion, experience is gonna always trump opinion in my book. Because I've been a victim of it. And that's why when um light skinned women say, that they are attacked, I don't discredit it, because I have a very fair skinned mom and I know the things that she went through. I know, I've seen the hate that lighter complexion people get just for being lighter complected. And if we're being honest, I'm gonna come back when I get off tonight, because I really want to talk about this. Um, if we're being honest, a lot of darker complected people have a jealousy of lighter complected people and think that they have it easier, but not necessarily. They have their struggles too. Like, you have someone like Kai. Kai's a white woman married to a black man. I can't discount or discredit Kai's experience, because I watch people in the chat attack Kai just for being a white woman married to a black man. So for me to go to Kai and say, Kai, I know that, you may think you get attacked for it, but you shouldn't feel that way. But in all actuality, it's wrong, because just because Kai loves, I mean, when I tell you, I talk to Kai behind the scenes, and when I tell you, she loves that man. She loves that man. They 20 years strong. And some of the things that, it's not my story to tell, some of the things that Kai has been through, most women, not cheating or anything like that. He's never done anything like that. But most women would have given up, and I can share this part. Uncle Tom shared that he's been blown up, and for her to stay there with him, for him to get his health back, get back to where he needs to be, I applaud her, because I've seen men that go through things that Uncle Tom has gone through, and women have walked away, like literally walked away from the man, because they didn't want to take care of him. They didn't want to be with him during that healing process. But yet and still, it's a white woman. Kyle's a white woman who's stuck beside this black man. But yet and still, she gets attacked just for being a white woman married to a black man. No one tries to even put themselves in her shoes to see what that white woman had to go through being married to that black man. It's something she said last night in the chat. She said she didn't ask for permission. She didn't ask for permission. She married because of love. And the thing about Uncle Tom and Kai is they were friends before they got married. But yet and still, people still want to attack her just for being a white woman married to a black man. It makes no sense. But I can't discount what Kai's gone through because I haven't gone through it. I'm empathetic towards it. If Kai's cool, Kai has a I won't even say Kai has a thick skin. Kai doesn't have a thick skin. Kai has like 10 layers of skin. She's a tough woman, and I realize that she has to be. She has to be. But don't get it twisted. The people that you see that are the strongest out there, those are the people that they're strong for a reason because they've had to go through so much to gain that strength. So yeah, we look at Kai, we look at Miss Sandra, we look at Grammy, we look at these women like they are these strong women, but what did they experience in their life? What did they have to go through in their life to be able to be that strong woman? That's what people don't think about. We see Kai, Miss Sandra, Grammy, we see them who they are now. But I'm gonna keep it on Kai for a minute since we're talking about race and complexion. But we don't know the heck Hades that Kai had to go through to get that thick skin that she has. But just because she has that thick skin, that doesn't mean that she still doesn't hurt, and that doesn't mean that we still should just discount how she feels about things. We I've watched Uncle Tom talk about when he was blown up. And I've seen her cry start crying on the stream, and she turned the camera off. But yet and still, because people don't know who she is, she still gets attacked. She still gets attacked just for being a white woman married to a black man. The same way she's attacked for being a white woman, some people are attacked for being dark skinned. Dark skin, you may haven't seen it, you may haven't experienced it, but it does not mean that it doesn't happen. Doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. Let me catch up on the chat. Any woman that sticks by a man nowadays gets attacked. They are seen as weak women who need a man and a gold digger. Oh, of course, I'm considered a gold digger, but think what you want. Kai has sass. Yes, she does. Kevlar. Yep, she doesn't just have thick skin, she has skin like Kevlar. We will be married 23 years in August, and I'm not ashamed to admit that I'm still listening. Congratulations early, Grammy. Next month, Papa was and I would celebrate. Oh, that's David. That's it. Okay, congratulations, David early. We will be 3 years on the 24th, so we got a long way to go to catch up with you guys. Next month, Papa and I. Congratulations, Grammy. It's hard when your husband gets seriously injured. I walked that path. Yeah, man, my husband had to have surgery, and man, I thought I was gonna just break. I really thought I was gonna break. My husband had surgery. I couldn't imagine having to go through what Kai had to go through with Uncle Tom. But that was the whole point that I wanted to make. I want to talk about this more later. I got 30 minutes before I need to sign into my work computer, and I need to let Ginger get out and play fetch with her a little bit more so she can be calm when I log into my computer. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say is there's my alarm telling me it's time. But yeah, um I come on, brain, work. I just appreciate that whole let me show you that this is really not an issue conversation that was had last night. But it may not be an issue to you, but some of us, based on our experience, it is an issue. I don't really care what people think about the way that I look now. I mean, like I said, if I did, I wouldn't cam up as much as I did. I wouldn't come up in front of strangers. Um, and LA kind of put me in my place when he was like, "Why do you care? That's disrespectful to your husband," and blah 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 blah. So yeah, um, I don't really care for the most part. Yeah, I get off at 11 tonight. So if UT isn't live, I'll go live. If he is, I might still go live because I only have like 2, 3 people here, so I'm not gonna pull his audience, and people can come back and watch it later. But if I do go live, y'all don't have to come over. You can, and Uncle Tom is live. You can stay on his live and just watch mine later. If that's what you want to do, because I definitely don't want to pull from his numbers and his watch time or anything. But yeah, I appreciate them because I know where it comes from. Like I said, I put myself in that person's shoes to try to understand. It came from a place of, okay, my sister, um, my sister, Bird Lady, has voiced this, and I want to show her that this is really not an issue. This is really not an issue. I want to show her that, her dark skin is really not an issue. It's really not an issue. And then the conversation went left, but also at the same time, and it's not an issue if you haven't experienced it. It's not an issue if you haven't lived through it. And that's the point that I wanted to make. And I really think I am too sensitive. That's the topic of the video. Didn't want to talk about colorism too much, but um why do my lips look like that? Is that a glare? I think that's a glare. I got that Carmex on. I'm like, why do my lips look like that? But yeah, I appreciate them for going to bat for me. Um, but you can't also discount someone's experience. Because you can have 6-hour, 12-hour panels talking about it, but 39 years of experience, it trumps it. So, but I'm good with it. I'm good. I'm fine. Like I said, I can cam up. I can get on here. No bleach skin. I used to turn the lights on really bright so that I won't look as dark. If you look at some of my old videos, when I have the lights on really bright, I don't look as dark. I don't even look as dark as I am right now, because I'm sitting right in front of a window and the sun is like, coming in. So, but yeah, I will talk about it later, and I just try to be more understanding of why a person feels a certain way than to say you shouldn't feel that way because it's not an issue. um because it is. It is an issue, and I'm gonna look up some videos, and that's what we'll probably do later. Is I do want to pull up that video where the lady did the experiment to where she had an online account. It was a dating site, and she had her darker complected photo there. And I mean, people were just, they were mean to her. They said dirty things to her, nasty things to her. They didn't even reach out to her, and when they did, it was usually some form of ridicule. She would reach out to men, and they will, it will go unanswered, or they would say something like, "I don't like dark skinned women." Then she photoshopped her profile photo, same same, I believe she had the same hair, same everything. She just lightened her skin in the photo, and I think she lightened her eyes too. And she created another profile with the same picture, just a lighter complected skin. She looked like a really light skinned woman. And I want to say she lightened her eyes too. And it was, she reached out to some of those same people that told her they didn't date dark skinned women, blah, 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 and had whole conversations with them. Straight catfished them. Whole conversations with them. When they wouldn't even give her the time of day, they was like, I don't like dark skinned women. So I'm gonna find that video and we'll probably react to that tonight. Um, but I love our online family. I love our online family. Man, we have created such a tight unit. Um, but I realize I'm too sensitive for panels. I can talk to Uncle Tom, Kai, LA, Grammy, David, Miss Sandra, Miss Katie Mae. It's a certain group of us that I can talk to, no issues. But sometimes I think when it comes to men, they don't feel things the way we feel. And that's why I say I'm too sensitive. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing that men don't feel the way we feel. I wish I was as strong in my mind and can just, when someone says something, I can just come back real quick and it doesn't affect me. But I'm too sensitive. All right, y'all. We'll come back later tonight. I'm gonna research. I'm gonna find that video, and we'll react to that video. Our family is the great. It's the greatest. I think our family is the greatest. And the craziest thing is, we are all from so many different walks of life, so many different experiences, so many different. It's just in our experiences. I think that's what makes us unique. It would not be a fun family if we all saw or felt things the same way. I think we balance each other out. You have Uncle Tom who's just like, I don't care. You have LA, you have Black Suited Defy, you have Black Thoughts, and then you have Kai, and then you have me. And all of us, because sometimes when it gets too much, everybody they say something like, Bird Lady, come and calm everybody down. Like sometimes you do need that extra sensitive person to bring things back down to normal, to kind of smooth things over. And I've had to get on the panel a couple of times when Alex was acting up, like, Alex, don't say anything, let it go, calm down, da 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 da. So I'll be the little wimpy sister in the crew, or the wimpy auntie, or whatever my title is, the wimpy. Because one time I came on the panel when they were arguing, and LA said, "Oh, there goes mama." So it was funny. But I think that we balance each other out well. And man, I love them for trying to make me feel better about the situation. But it is an issue. It is. And I'm going to show proof when I come back of that it's a real thing. So when I come back tonight, I'm gonna show proof. I may actually get off a couple hours early so that I can come on. I'll see if I can get my time approved. But thank you so much, guys, for watching. Let me go throw the ball with Ginger for about a good 10 or 15 minutes so she can be a good little calm little girl while I'm working. Love you guys. Mwah.